played these first few weeks of the preseason heading into the regular season?
Yeah, I would say his discipline and his consistency have been really impressive. I think, during a long off season, you can start off, everyone's very motivated. And, it's easy as the off season continues to kind of drag on to lose that motivation. And I think that Miles did a great job of starting really strong in the off season. And then just continued the whole way through with his plan. I think that we all see he's in better shape. I think that he's been able to sustain his habits defensively and offensively because he is in better shape. He's just taken, I think, a really committed approach to his body and his conditioning, and I think it's helping him. He's guarding really well. Offensively, challenged him to hit the offensive glass a lot more and try to get us more possessions. I think he's leaving money on the table, and our team is too. And he starts doing it at a really high level, and then it becomes contagious. He always has the ability to bring people along with him because they understand how hard he plays and competes. And again, that discipline and that consistency, I think, has really impressed me and impressed his teammates.
Talked about having, I guess, 3 starters probably pretty much already kind of a given. The other 2 guys, how will you determine, again, it's only game 1, but how will you determine how you're going to use the starting lineup, and will it be something that you'll continue to tweak as you go along and figure out what you want to do?
Yeah, I think we definitely will keep studying it, figuring out what combinations work well. Brandon, Miles, and Melo have, really shown that they have earned that opportunity to be able to start. And I think the other 2 guys, again, they're going to have to earn it with their performance. They're going to have to earn it with the trust of the coaching staff and their teammates. And some of it will also be based on times defensive matchups or just what makes sense with roster balance at times, depending on whatever situation we're in during the year. So there's been a lot of great communication, and people know to be open-minded and be ready for your opportunity. We do have a really deep team. Especially when it comes to the competitiveness and the skill level of a lot of our guys. So I feel comfortable playing anybody with those other 3 guys.
Like Rod said, only game 1, not much data or film to work off of, but what do you see from the Brooklyn Nets and what challenges will they present you guys tonight?
Yeah, really competitive team. They play very hard. They play really well together. Defensively, I think we've seen a ton of different defenses from them. There's full court pressure. There's a lot of physicality. At times there's some zone and some side out of bounds or baseline out of bounds situations. So they try to keep you on your toes and keep you guessing at times. So hopefully we're able to kind of just counterbalance that by getting stops and playing with a little bit of our pace and the pass aheads. And then offensively, they got 2 really good scorers in Thomas and in Porter Jr. And the rest of the guys do a great job of kind of moving and reacting and playing off of them. And they're one of probably the best offensive rebounding teams too because of their competitive spirit.
I want to dig deeper on Rod's question. Of the 2 spots to fill, which do you think is a tougher decision for you?
Oh, they're all tough. When you have such, honestly, I'm not even, I guess, trying to be cute, but it is a tough decision because a lot of guys have earned the opportunity to have a significant role on this team. There's only so many minutes. But like I've talked to them before, be open-minded, be flexible. A lot of times it's not who starts the game, it's who finishes the game and how are you actually performing during the game. There's always wild cards throughout the year, throughout the game. Foul trouble happens, so everyone needs to be ready. And it's a tough decision on me, but it's a good tough decision. That means that these guys are competing and showing that they deserve to be on the court.
And I know you're probably inclined to say he's had an impact on everybody, but who do you think Colin Sexton has had the biggest impact on in your group?
That's a good one. But I would say LaMelo. I've seen from day one, I think that they've just had a really good connection personally, and then that personal connection has kind of spewed over into on the court too. They did a lot of group workouts together. There was a lot of time spent after the workout trying to chop it up and get to know each other. I think that Melo respects how Colin plays the game, how he approaches the game, his professionalism. He is so locked in and focused at all times, and so Colin tries to, I think, impart some wisdom on just like what he's seen from a lot of different stops, and it's helping. I think that type of partnership and teamwork and togetherness is what we needed, and so I think he's had an impact on everybody, but definitely he and Melo seem to have vibed in a really good way.
Speaking of LaMelo, I know last year one of the things you talked about was him putting on a little bit more weight so he could play through some of that contact that he gets every night. Obviously he has. You talked about the PRs. Have you seen a difference in what he's able to do on the court because of that?
I have. And really the difference is, like I saw it last year in moments. I feel like those moments now are expanding. It's for longer periods of time during a game. It's like a sustained ability to now take on more physicality and understand, full court pressure can't take us out of what you want to get to or what you need to get to. And then I think defensively, he's willing to stick his nose in there a little bit more and fight through screens and help us rebound. And again, he did it last year, but now I think that with that elevated kind of weight room mindset that he took on, it's translating on the court in longer spurts.
You're entering year 2 in Charlotte. What is the biggest difference for you personally from this time last year, and what is the biggest difference of the roster from where you guys were this time last year?
Yeah, I think I'm just more prepared. You're ready for the opportunity last year because you've seen a lot and done a lot and experienced a lot, but you haven't had to do it as the head coach of the leader of the organization. And we had to go through a lot of situations in terms of the roster last year and injuries and, being in a ton of close games early in the year, and how are you putting together your end-of-game package, and how are you implementing all your systems. And so I just feel more prepared this year. You're more settled. You understand your returning players a little bit more. You understand what's most important to you and how you can always have clarity in a lot of situations because the clearer you are, the better communicator you are. And so I feel like that's helped me a ton, and I think that this roster helps me because we've added a lot of guys that just embody what we need. Their mindset helps us, and so I'm excited about this group and kind of kicking off our journey tonight.
Charles, did you have any message for the rookies ahead of this opener, just any sort of special message to them?
I don't know if it's special, but I told all the guys I've been impressed with what they've brought to our organization and to our team. Since the first day they've been drafted. I think they've elevated the environment, the culture, with their hard work, their character, their basketball IQ, their competitiveness, their willingness to do whatever it needs to be done to impact winning or just impact the game in general. And, if they're going to be in the rotation, they've earned it, and they need to feel good about that. Nothing was given to them, and that what they have earned is that opportunity. And with that, you don't need to do anything spectacular. You just have to continue to be you. And I know there's going to be a lot of angst in game 1 of your NBA career, but don't feel like you need to do any more than what you've already done. You are enough, and what you add to our group is enough. And so I'll be excited for them to get their first crack at an NBA game.
Going back to LaMelo and Colin Sexton, and we don't know if they're going to start together, but they definitely play a lot of minutes together. What do you like about that combination, especially with Colin having the ball and LaMelo playing off ball as a screener? How do they complement each other?
I think they complement each other just because you have two really good ball handlers out there. At times, Melo probably feels like he has to take on a huge load in terms of ball handling responsibilities, especially when there's full court pressure, especially when there's physicality. So it's just nice having another ball handler that can get into the paint, get us downhill. I think Melo's shot distribution and profile has looked different in the preseason because of the ability to pass ahead to a Colin, pass across to a Brandon or a Trey Mann, other guys that can help create shots. So that's what I love about their relationship is their willingness to play off one another and not have to dominate the ball at all times.
Coach, you didn't get an opportunity to play here in the preseason. How excited are you to open up the regular season here at Spectrum Center with the new look?
Very excited. We had shoot-around out there today. The new look is amazing. The people that worked on the building, thank you to them. The city, thank you. Ownership, thank you. So all that was poured into that facility. It is beautiful. We are excited to play in front of our fans and our crowd again. Going to a couple Panthers games and feeling the vibe in there and remembering last year's vibes and those San Antonio games and the fans just always being so great and the energy and the buzz. We're hyped to be able to get back in front of our home crowd.
Hey, Charles, I was just wondering if there's any updates as to where Grant Williams and Josh Green are in their return to play.
Yeah, great question. They're making really good progress. I still don't have an exact timetable for you, but they're making really good progress, and they've been, I think, able to go step by step in their rehab plans.
You mentioned the rookies earning their spots or whatever it is in terms of the rotation. With Ryan Kalkbrenner, I guess, did he put pressure on you in terms of coming in here being maybe better than what you thought in terms of being better this early? I mean, how do you think about his progress so far from when you guys drafted him similarly to where he's doing right now?
Yeah, well, props to our front office and Really, one guy comes to mind. The whole front office does great, but Dotun especially was very convicted on Ryan. And I think that we all kind of knew who he was, and he's definitely done a great job in a short period of time of impressing us because he just picks things up so quickly. But I'm not very surprised at how good he's been. I think that we knew when we drafted him he was going to be a hard worker. He was going to try to maximize himself. He was the 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, so you knew he had the instincts and the fearlessness to try to affect the game on that side of the floor. And then offensively, the thing that I've been most impressed with is just like the subtle, like veteran techniques that he has in his pick and roll screening, or how he works the dunker. His hands are like really good. I think our guys feel comfortable throwing it to him in the seam and around the baskets, which has been impressive too.